and welcome to the Roy Rogers Riders Club.
Thrill again to the thundering hooves and cattle stampedes, barroom brawls, and shootouts of classic Western features and TV shows. Annie Oakley, Roy Rogers, Gene Autry, John Wayne, and all their cowboy pals and sidekicks roam the West once more. Heroes never die on ComedyMX Channels. They just ride off into the sunset.
Lawbreakers if I ever seen any.
We got to keep this part of the country respectable and law-abiding, don't we?
Sure do, Trap.
Un aguadero, a place for the thirsty horses to drink and for the happy traveler to stretch his pants leg.
We stopped every place that looked good to you, Toro. We wouldn't make Sacramento by Christmas.
Well, if we tire ourselves and the horses, we'll be of no help to the government surveyors.
For the senorita.
Buenos dias, amigos. A beautiful day for travelers to meet like this, no?
No, and shut up. We're deputies, and you two are under arrest.
Say, what's the idea?
Look like killers to me, Trap. Take off your gun belts.
Caballeros, you are making a mistake. We are not killers. We have done nothing to break the law.
Let them on your horses. I think they're horse thieves. Pretty nice-looking horses.
Yes, and they belong to us.
That's what they all say. We'll take the horses. We'll hold them till the rightful owner claims them.
Senores, we are the rightful owners. I am El Toro, and this
Shut up.
Senor, I am trying to unmix your mistake so that we can remain friends.
Hey, wearing stolen property, huh?
It is not stolen property. That was given to me by a senorita in Monterrey. Now give it back. Why, you canalla.
Lose your temper, Toro.
I'll never lose my temper.
Cool off, Chili Pepper, before I put a slug in you for resisting arrest.
Chili Pepper.
See what other stolen property they have on them.
They are bandidos, que they are not deputy sheriffas.
So you can shoot us in the back?
Now, whoever gave him that idea? We don't shoot our prisoners in the back, do we, Trap?
No, not unless they try to escape. In that case, it always looks nicer if all the bullets are in the back. Maybe you got a point there. But it just so happens we ain't too particular where anyone finds the bullets. All those in favor of executing the prisoners where they stand without any further fussing and must say aye. Aye. What could be fairer than that?
It's the slick ears.
They're getting away. There's only one of them shooting at us.
Well, let's get him.
You draw his fire, I'll get around behind him. Let's get back to our friend.
El Toro always returns the favor.
Let's get out of here.
Got away. What did you lose?
Trying to find out who our mysterious friend is.
Only one, and you do all that shooting?
Only one by the tracks. Didn't even wait around to be thanked. Uh-oh. Piece of a broken spur.
He must have broke that off when he leave in such a hurry.
Whoever he is, Toro, we both owe him our lives.
You can say that again, Kit. That yell is like the sound a cougar makes.
There's a lot going on in this territory we don't know about, Toro. Let's go.
If I find out the sheriff of this town make those kind of deputies on purpose, I think El Toro will be put in jail for breaking his neck.
I think we'll find out those men don't have any right to those badges.
Gee, wow, they're locking up babies now.
Don't look old enough to shave, do they?
They must be juvenile delinquents.
Is there something you want?
Oh, don't tell me you're the sheriff.
By golly, if that's the case, then I've seen everything. Deputies who are bandidos, babies who are prisoners, and a beautiful sheriff who... Pardon El Toro for saying so much. You are very beautiful, senorita.
The sheriff is out. Now, if there's anything I can do for you...
You are not the sheriff? Oh, how unfortunate. Because you've already captured my heart and made a prisoner of my soul.
Don't pay any attention to Toro. He can't help talking like that whenever he's a young, beautiful lady.
I'm sorry if I'm not flattered.
Oh, then we'll get down to business. My friend and I would like to lodge a complaint with the sheriff.
I'll say we would. 2 cutthroats have been riding around this country wearing deputy badges and calling themselves the law.
We'd like to sign a complaint for their arrest.
I'm afraid that wouldn't do you much good.
Why not?
Those men are legally appointed deputies of the law.
If those men are the law, it's a good thing we didn't run into crooks.
Now, if you please go and come back later, the sheriff will be back, and I'm sure...
What sheriff in his right mind would deputize a couple of men like that?
Maybe the same kind that would arrest babies like that and lock them up. I never saw such a dangerous bunch of killers in my life. What are they in for, murdering somebody with a pea shooter?
They're a lot more dangerous than you think. Now, if you'll please go and come back later, the
We'll
sheriff...
wait. We've got a little time, eh, Toro?
Si, es verdad. That sheriff is one hombre I want to get a look at. Hey. Do your mamas know that you're locked up in jail?
Miss, there's been a couple of things that have happened to my friend and I today that we don't quite understand. Maybe you wouldn't mind answering a few questions.
Take my advice and leave right now, without asking any questions.
Now, do we look like the kind of men that would take that kind of advice?
No, you don't. But don't you see it's dangerous for you to stay here? No, please go before it's too late.
In all my born days, I never saw such a beautiful senorita act like she's so scared of something. What are you afraid of?
I'm Kit Carson, miss, and this is El Toro. You can trust us.
My father, he has to take orders from Hackett.
Hackett?
He's the leader of an outlaw gang.
Well, what does your father do?
He's the sheriff.
Golly smokes, Kid, this is a situation.
Why are these boys in jail?
Well, so far, they're the only ones with courage enough to fight Hackett's men.
Oh, sort of a junior vigilante movement, huh?
They call themselves the Slick Ears.
Kid, it was a slick here who helped us this morning. That's what one of those no-good bandito deputies yell out when the shooting starts.
Better give them a quick apology, Toro. You called them babies.
Men, I apologize.
What are the charges against them?
There aren't any.
Well, why don't you let them out of jail?
Oh, I couldn't. My father would...
No one could blame you or your father if I let them out.
Sue wouldn't do a thing like that, Mr. Hackett.
Well, we'll see. That Tim Powers better still be locked up, or you're in for plenty of trouble.
Who are these fellas and what do they want?
We're waiting for the sheriff.
Get rid of them, Banyan.
Well, I'm the sheriff here, but you boys will have to come back later. I'm busy now.
We'll wait.
Si, senor sheriff, we got lots of time.
Just as I thought, Tim Powers ain't here. That means the Sioux let him out.
Sue, why'd you do it?
Do what, Father?
Well, Trapp and Morgan just got back from the North Road, and they said a slick ear resembling Tim Powers took a shot at him this morning from ambush.
There were 6 of these hoodlums in here last night, Banyan. Now there are only 5.
There's still 6 of us in here, Hackett. You must be having trouble with your eyes. Or maybe you never got enough education to learn to count that far.
Why, you young whelp. If there wasn't you fired on the law, then who was it?
That's easy to answer. It was a slick ear. You could lock up a dozen more of us, and there'd still be 50 more on the outside to take our place.
And for every one of you that fires at my men, I'll have one of you horsewhipped. And if any of my men get killed, I'll hang you just like any other murderer. Why, you impudent young...
Banyan! Stay where you are, Sheriff. You too, miss. Toss him out, Toro.
Senor?
Trap! Morgan!
Hackett will kill us for this.
You better leave with us, mister. He'll be back in a minute with his men.
We'll keep him busy till you get out of town. This is your alibi, Sheriff.
You too, miss. If I sure nobody ever find the key, I lock myself in there with you. Bandito deputies, Kit.
Yeah, we can't leave those boys when they're in trouble. Let's split.
Si, senor.
Try that way.
You insult the senorita who gave me this. My watch runs like always, Kid. It says tick-tock bong.
All those in favor of going home, say aye.
They have a chance to vote and they don't do it. What could be more fair than that, Kid?
Just relax, boys.
These slick ears.
It's what cattlemen call a young calf. So young its ears are still wet.
If those young fellas we helped today are still wet behind the ears, I hope they never gets mad at me when their ears gets dried out.
Well, right now, they're mad at someone else. Let's go have a talk with them.
Over here! I was afraid maybe you'd left the country.
Not until we get a few things straightened out first.
Then you'll help him?
That's the general idea, my young kid friend.
There's an old deserted barn we use as a hideout. Come on. Fellas, I want you to meet Kit Carson and El Toro.
Yes, babies.
Howdy, fellas.
They're willing to help us clean up Hackett's gang.
Don't include me yet. I'm not so sure. Sometimes I think I'm a little too old, maybe, for these kind of games. Maybe too much kid stuff.
Kid stuff?
Oh, don't pay any attention to Toro. He thinks you're great.
Well, just the same, I'm not joining up with any Slick Ears organization tonight.
That's our leader.
I thought you were the leader.
I'm sorry I'm late, Tim.
Madre mía, el jefe es jefe y lindísima. You are the leader of the Slick Ears?
Is there anything wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong with that, senorita. It's just that El Toro cannot wait any longer to join this fine organization.
Any time we can make trouble for Hackett's men, we're glad to. But we need more guns and ammunition.
see what you mean.
Maybe you can get them for us, Kit.
Well, it doesn't seem right for just kids to do all this fighting.
We're not just kids.
There's a more immediate problem than fighting Hackett's men. Today, Hackett had my father lock the water fund money in the office safe.
Water fund?
Money the ranchers raised to bring water onto their land. Hackett has ordered my father to offer no resistance when 2 masked hold-up men rob him tomorrow.
It's very interesting.
What time is this holdup supposed to take place?
At 2 in the afternoon.
You get us guns and bullets, Kit. We'll take care of Hackett's gang.
Oh, not yet, Tim. I'd like to try a different plan. I'll tell you what we'll do.
You're mighty early, ain't you?
It's the early bird that catches the dinero, Sheriff.
Open that safe like Hackett told you.
Yeah, I know you two. You're not Hackett's men. You're the 2 hombres who let those slick ears out of jail yesterday.
Open that safe.
All right.
You didn't have to be that ready.
It ain't just Banion's idea. The money's gone.
Well, where is the money? What happened here?
Come on, we gotta tell Hackett.
Maybe it was worth losing that money to find out that it was Sue that's been taking the slick ears their information.
Want me to take care of her?
Nope. Not until she rides out to her friends with the story she's going to hear about a certain money shipment.
And the $10,000 will be in the strongbox on Wednesday stage. I heard Hackett telling my father how his men were planning to hold up that stage at Oakley Rock.
This looks like another job for you and me, kid. We do the first one so easy, the second time will be like poof.
The money will be in the strongbox, huh? Mm-hmm. This is what we'll do.
The next person that opens this will have quite a surprise in store for him. This revolver is clamped to the lid, loaded with a blank. This string runs from the trigger through this eye into a little hook down there. Hand me that gunpowder. Now then, the next person that opens this, the revolver fires into the gunpowder, and instead of finding $10,000, they discover the explosive power of 25 pounds of gunpowder.
Well, that's pretty smart, Hackett.
Why do you suppose those riders follow the stage, kid?
I don't know. They sure could spoil our play. You think you could get that strongbox by yourself?
As easy as eating pumpkin tortilla.
Well, maybe it would be easier for you if I helped.
Well, this turned out better than I expected.
There will be no trouble, my friends. Toss away your guns and throw down this strongbox. Muy bien. Now you may continue with your journey and do not look back. thing. It's heavy. Maybe I can open it.
Great work, Toro. We'll keep this with the other money until Hackett and his men are no more. Come on, fellas, let's get to work and get this open.
I checked the stage, Hackett. This guy's friend took off the strong box all right.
Good. Now let's just hope he doesn't open it until he gets with the slick ears.
What about the strong box, Hackett?
Now, you just never mind. Supposing you get aboard that horse and stop asking questions.
So you planned for us to rob that stagecoach, huh?
That's right. Oh, I nearly forgot. Thanks.
What was in that strong box?
Gunpowder. Enough gunpowder to blow away the side of a mountain. And all set to go off the moment the lid is open.
Sheriff, your daughter will be one of the people that will open that strong box.
No. No, that can't be.
When I left her, she was with the slick ears waiting for El Toro to return with it.
We gotta stop her. Shut up. That's all your fault, Hackett.
Let me do that for a while. El Toro will have this box open in no time.
Hand me that bar.
Your slick ears may be brave, but El Toro got the most muscle.
Wait a minute. As long as Sue found out about the money, let her have the honor.
Hold it!
Fix to blow you all the kingdom country.
Are you loco or something?
Give me your gun.
I'm afraid I broke it up when I tried to open the box.
No more shells for this.
And the rest of your weapons won't do us any good.
They're here.
Think of something, kiddo. We'll be killed up like fishes in a barrel.
Give me a hand. Give me a rope, Tim. Cut me about 4 feet.
They're in there all right. I can hear them.
Hey, you in there. Surrender and come out with your hands up.
Out the back way. Behind that rock. Come on in and get it.
All right. Open it up.
Kid, today I feel the whole world is sad.
All right, don't worry, Toro. Tim will look after Sue for you.
That slick kid look after the senorita. Kid stuff.
Oh, by the way, Toro, that reward was on Hackett.
See, amigo, the reward. Maybe we can spend my share in Monterrey, no?
I gave both our shares to the slickers.
Kid, you didn't.
They promised to put away their guns and build a clubhouse.
As I said before, today the whole world is sad. Poor son of my mother. Pobre El Toro. Well, we go to work for the army now.
Last whole claim.
Yeah, the richest mine around here.
Hey, you Sellers. Mart Sellers.
You calling me?
Yeah.
Now, I don't allow any strangers on this claim. Now, you get off.
Let's get out of here.
Girl seems to be in a hurry, Toro.
Yeah, nobody's chasing her. She's a beautiful senorita.
Maybe she needs help.
See, maybe.
Miss. We're friends. We were trying to catch up with you, miss.
I know you. You're all a bunch of outlaws and claim jumpers.
You've got us wrong, miss. We just wanted to see if you needed some help.
You might have killed me and my amigo, Kit Carson.
Kit Carson?
See, we are on our way to visit an old friend of his, Mart Sillers.
This is Mart Sillers. He's my grandfather.
What happened?
He was shot by claim jumpers. I'm taking him into town to a doctor.
Well, then let's get going.
How is he? He's going to be all right, but he's got to stay put for quite a while.
Mrs. Jones, I'd be happy to pay for her.
Why, he's an old friend of mine, Mr. Carson.
And mine. He taught me a lot about scouting when I was a kid. He saved my life at the Battle of Comanche Pass. He was as good a scout as ever lived until he got the gold fever. Did he strike it rich?
Listen, he's dug more holes than a gopher, and all he's ever got out of him is a backache. Matter of fact, I sent for his granddaughter to get him out of here. They're calling him Crazy Mart behind his back.
Does she know about this?
What she don't know, she suspects. He's asleep.
Mr. Carson, I'd like to go back to the mine and pick up a few of my grandfather's things.
Senorita, it would be a pleasure to go with you.
Do you know of any reason why claim jumpers would try to steal your grandfather's claim?
Frankly, I don't. He said it was $1 million strike, but he talked that way about every new claim.
Was there any indication of gold ore?
I don't know. He was very secretive about it.
Toro and I have a little errand to do. You wait here. Come on, Toro.
Howdy.
Hello there. My name is Kit Carson. This is El Toro. We were wondering if you could give us some information.
Why, certainly.
What we'd like to know is, has Mart Sillas ever filed a claim with you?
Well, now, there's some information that's private. We just don't pass it out to everybody.
Sillas has been shot and might die. This is for his granddaughter.
Shot? Who could have done a thing like that to Mart? He may have been a little touched, but everybody liked him.
So I understand.
Well, I think he'd filed on about 6 or 7 claims in the last year. But he hopped from one to the other, just like a grasshopper.
What about this last claim?
Let's see. I'll have to take a look in my register. Just a minute. Yeah, here it is. He filed all right and brought me in more ore to be assayed.
What about them?
Worthless. Nothing but pyrite.
But he still owns the claim.
That's right. However, there isn't an ounce of gold or silver on it. You know, as much as I insisted that he's spending money uselessly on these assays, he continued to bring me more and more specimens. Poor fellow, sometimes I think that he's had so much bad luck that it's probably affected him.
Si, senor, the gold fever is sometimes bad for a man.
I can't understand it. Mart was always spry and bright. Said he wanted to make his fortune so he could take things easy during his old age.
He sure had a lot of bad luck. I hope he sure pulls through with this.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome. Bye. You idiots did a fine job on that Sillas claim.
Boy, we did what you said.
Well, Mart's still alive, and Carson was just in trying to find out about it.
Carson?
Yes, and Carson's nobody to fool with. So you better take a couple of men and go down and stop him. Him or anybody else that tries to get to that claim.
Yeah, but suppose he does get there.
Well, if he does, we'll fix it so nobody will recognize it. You take that heavy door down 100 feet to the left to the old mine shaft. Take his tent and his riggings or anything else. Make it look like it's his claim.
What about the real shaft?
Just cover it up, board it up, cover it with brush, do anything, but hurry. Come on.
I'm afraid your grandfather was mistaken about his claim.
I'm afraid so. I think the best thing to do is to get his things together and take him home to recuperate. Maybe he'll forget about prospecting.
That's a good idea, senorita.
But I can't understand why anybody would want to shoot him.
Well, hello, Miss Sue.
How do you do, Mr. Toby?
How's your grandfather feeling? I understand he met with an accident.
Yes, he's much better, thanks.
Oh, that's good. Poor fellow. He hasn't had much luck since came to these parts, has he?
No, he hasn't. I think I'll take him away just as soon as I can.
No, that's a right smart idea, Miss Sue. Of course, I know you haven't been fixed too well financially. Of course, Mart put more on the ground than he really ever took out of it.
Well, I think I have enough to get us home.
Many a times he paid me for an assay of ore when I told him he didn't have to, but I figured it was his money. And you know, it's around about $1,000 I want you to take, Miss Sue.
Well, I couldn't possibly do that.
Well, now, you just can't say it's charity. I'll tell you what. Mart has a tent and some riggings up at the old mine. Of course, she can't use them now, and I can. I'll give you $1,000 for the whole caboodle, including the claim.
Well, that's awfully nice of you, Mr. Toby.
It sure is.
No, it's only fair. Many a times he insisted that I take his money for an assay of ore. By just looking at it, I could tell it was no good at all.
Well, suppose you draw up the papers, and then I'll have Grandfather sign them this afternoon.
Well, now, your grandfather may be a little obstinate. You know how he is. But why don't you do this? Why don't you get his power of attorney, and then you could sign for him?
Well, I'll do that just as soon as I come back from the mine. I'm going up there to pick up some of these things.
Now, that's fine, Miss Sue. Then I'll wait for you at my place.
Fine.
Bye, Miss Sue, Mr. Carson.
Bye. Sometimes you don't know who your real friends are.
El Toro and I will follow you up to the mine.
I'm sorry to impose on you this way.
Oh, senorita, it's no imposition. It's a pleasure.
That's them, all right.
Off the road, get!
Hey, hold it. You two keep them busy. Joe and I'll circle them. Come on.
They're fanning out.
See, they're trying to surprise us from the rear.
Well, I've got a surprise for them.
Come on.
Que tontos. I'm afraid you're going to lose a good wagon, senorita.
Oh, they're a good team. They'll show up in town later.
I think I'll take a ride over to the mine and find out why they were so anxious to keep us away from there.
Here's the key to the mine. I'm sure you couldn't get into the shaft otherwise.
Thanks. Toro, take Sue back to town, huh?
You will ride with me, senorita?
Well, I guess I'll have to.
Well?
They got away.
Well, if they want to go up the mine, let them. Maybe it'll work out better that way.
Yeah, but I hate to see Carson and that sidekick of his get away with anything.
They won't get away with anything. We'll get Sue and her grandfather out of town. We'll take care of Carson and his pal. I'm going back to the assay office. You wait here till you hear from me.
Toby, would you mind assaying these for me?
Why, sure. You sure you want this assayed?
Why?
Well, it don't take an expert to see that there's no color here. Take a look.
I don't know too much about this.
Maybe a trace of copper.
You ever have the gold fever, Kit?
Yes, once when I was a kid, but I got over it quickly. Couldn't see myself tied down in one spot for too long.
You're just like I am. Itchy legs instead of itchy palms.
So you were right, Mr. Toby.
It's too bad. Say, by the way, did Sue ever get the power of attorney from her grandfather?
I don't know. I haven't seen her. But I'm sure she'll be over to see you as soon as she gets it.
Well, I sure hope she does, because they really need the money.
Again, you're right, Mr. Toby. Thank you.
Now, don't be foolish, Grandpa. You know we need that $1,000, and your claim isn't worth it. You know you can't take your equipment back east with you.
What are you talking about? That claim's worth $500,000. That Toby's crooked, I tell you.
Won't you sign this power of attorney and let me handle your business until you're better?
I will not. I ain't going to give away a claim I staked out that is going to make both of us rich. And another thing, young lady, there's something mighty crooked going on around here. And ain't nobody going to railroad me out of town until I find out what.
Well, I don't think it's our place to worry about these things, Grandpa. You're awful sick.
Oh, mule feathers. I'll be up out of this bed in no time and working that mine, too.
Now, for the last time, will you please sign this power of attorney?
No, sirree. Look, honey, when I die, you're going to inherit everything I've got. But as long as I'm alive, I'm not going to lay here and watch you being swindled.
Well, I'm going to get Kit to talk to you. Maybe he can talk some sense into that stubborn old head of yours.
You're just wasting your time. It ain't going to do you no good nohow.
He's gone. His clothes are gone.
Well, there's only one place I'm sure he'd go to, the mine.
Unless he went to argue with Mr. Toby.
Senorita, I think my amigo is right.
Let's hurry.
I'm going with you. Grandpa, what are you doing out of bed? You're going to kill yourself.
Of all the low-down swindles I ever saw, if I hadn't crawled out of bed and come down here, nobody would have known it.
Senor, known what?
About that fake they're trying to put over. No wonder Toby wanted to buy my claim for $1,000.
Sure, Mart. You tell us about it later, huh?
Take a look around, gal. Take a good look. What do you see?
Why, the same thing I saw when I came up here before. The mine, claim.
Is that all you see? Can't you see what they went and done? Can't you see what they're trying to put over, Kit?
You've got to get control of yourself, Mart. Now, you get into that wagon, let Sue take you back to town. If that wound opens again, no telling what'll happen.
I ain't worrying about no wound now. Can't you see what they went and done? They went and moved my mine. That's what they went and done. They brought it over here lock, stock, and barrel at this old shaft.
It's a little far-fetched, isn't it, Mart? Trying to tell us someone moved your mine?
Far-fetched or not, I know what I'm talking about, and I ain't leaving here till I can prove it to you.
I think he's wise to us, Toby. He sure keeps yelling about something to them.
Yeah. I don't think they believe him, though. I think they think he's crazy.
We can't take any chances. If he starts messing around here, he's liable to start trouble, so you better watch for my signal.
What'll it be?
I'll take my hat off and do this.
Good. We can't get him off the claim one way. We'll get him off another.
Now, keep your eye on me.
But listen, kid, I want to prove something to you.
Plenty of time for that later. Let's get you home first.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, just for old time's sake, I want you to take some samples of ore from that other area. Oh, about 50 yards the other side of that rock. You take them down and have them assayed, and then you find out whether I'm crazy or not.
Hi, folks.
What's he doing here?
Well, you must be feeling pretty spry coming down here checking your claim over.
Oh, you dirty, low-down claim jumper, you sneak.
Mart, quiet down. What's the idea?
Mart's a little upset. He isn't quite himself today, Mr.
Well,
Toby.
I should think he wouldn't be. Try to do the man a favor, and he calls you a swindler.
Don't talk about doing me no favors, you highbinder, you... What did you do with my claim? Where did you hide it?
Hide it? Oh, now I know you're really loco.
No, and I ain't loco either. I know what I'm talking about. When I staked out that claim, I had those landmarks figured out pretty well right here. There ain't nobody going to change any scenery on me and tell me I'm loco.
Oh, well, he'll be all right, Mr. Carson. He's just probably run the high fever and don't know what he's saying.
Mart, now, let's be reasonable. This is getting us nowhere. Now, you get in the wagon, let's take you back to town. Toby and I'll take the specimens in and have them assayed for you today.
Oh, listen, kid, I'll make you a bargain. When I staked out that claim, I buried a stake just on the entrance of that shaft. You go look where I tell you, and if you don't find anything, well, I'll go on back and forget about my claim.
That's a deal, Mart. Help him into the wagon. He'll be more comfortable.
When you get him in the wagon, I'd take him on back to town. I wouldn't humor him any longer.
I gave him my word, Mr. Toby.
He's going toward the shaft.
Is this it, Mart?
Yeah, the shaft should be right there.
Where you buried the stake?
Yeah? You just dig. You'll find it.
Carson, why don't you quit playing games with the old fool and get him back to bed?
Maybe I'm not the only one that's playing games around here.
Keep digging, son. That's it, kid. Right what I said.
MS. It could mean Marcellus. Now who's crazy?
Frankly, Carson, it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. You know, it could be possible that the old man did this himself.
He's reaching for his hat.
Yes, sir, it could be possible.
Toro, take Sue into the shaft.
seen a mine moved bodily from one location to another.
Sure was a smart stunt, but it wasn't smart enough.
Will you give me your power of attorney now?
Now? Why now?
Well, I have an offer from a real mining company this time. They want to buy your claim for enough money for you to retire.
That's right. They sent some men down here to get specimens of the ore, and it's been assayed high grade.
Well, what did I tell you? You can't fool an old bantam like me.
I'm sure, Senorita, that your grandpapa will give you his power of attorney if you will give me your address.
It would be a pleasure, Toro. If you ever come up our way, be sure and come and see Grandpa and I. We'll always be glad to see you.
That goes for you, too, Kit.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Adios.